everybody. Welcome back to Voice for Men India. Wishing you all a great 2023. We are going to begin this year with a very interesting interview. Joining with us is Dr. Nayan Malek. Hi, Doctor. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, hello, Anas. Thank you for inviting me.
Before I introduce why Dr. Nayan Malek is here, I would like to give a little brief about the concept of, when we talk about rape survivors, and when, we defend men who have been falsely accused as rape. Now, when we talk about rape, by default, the term is attributed to a woman, but in some way or the other, it also trivializes the trauma a man faces in similar situation, and especially if the act has been committed by a woman on him. Now, Dr. Nayan Malek has actually come up with a book that he has published. The book is very much available on Amazon, and we are going to talk about it in detail. The name of the book is Silence Has Secrets, and the concept actually stemmed out of a situation at one of the premier institutes where there was this whole debate about, women talking about rape survivors. And there was a question posed to men in the class whether they would marry rape survivors. Now, in return, nobody ever expected this situation to happen. A boy actually, reverted back and asked the same question to the girls whether they would be happy to marry a male rape survivor. So, Dr. Nayan Malik, do share with us why did you take up this topic? Sometimes people will be saying, "Oh, it's such a taboo topic. How can you even discuss this in open? Or why should we even discuss about it?" But there are so many women who actually face this trauma. So, what prompted you to write on this topic?
Luckily, I don't have this any past trauma or something like that, but I have witnessed some incidents, and also I have seen some topics on social media. So I would just like to mention 3 points. For example, it was a couple of years back, I think 2 3 years back, I saw a news article on Facebook. So there, what happened? Like a male was raped by a woman, and I mean she was, I think, elder than him, and it was teenage guy. So when I clicked the like news, and the comment section was really weird and pathetic. Like for example, most of the like people, especially women, men, and irrespective of genders, they ask like what kind of weeds the reporter has consumed. Like they even didn't believe that a male is being raped by a woman. So that is number one. I also saw a couple of like youngsters. They tagged their friends, and then they were just making fun, making jokes of that incident. Like, okay, let's go to the US. We can have a free female touch there. I mean, we can be raped and enjoy. So I mean, for them, I mean, most of us even like when we like hear that term rape, as you mentioned earlier, it always the same picture that comes in our mind, that like women being molested by a man. It's very unfortunate because I mean it's a heinous crime, but we are almost like forgetting, or even we don't realize that men also can undergo same trauma. So this was one incident which triggered in my mind, like why people are mocking. I mean, somebody is being raped and they are making fun, they are not even believing. So then I thought like maybe I can create something, some awareness among people. So this was one point. Another point, like I was traveling in an auto. That time I was in my graduation college. So there was a girl in that auto. So she was like continuously, I mean, moving towards me. She was literally leaning on me. I just moved back. I just moved aside. Again, I saw that she's coming. So then I just, what happened? Any problem? Then she told like, you don't know how to behave with a woman. Like I just asked this question. So that was like some kind of weird situation with me. Fortunately, nothing happened because I could not tell anything. Maybe if I could say something more, I was silent that time because I knew, like, if I say something, she will create a scene and everybody will believe her, because nobody will believe that, okay, she was trying to lean on me. So that was another incident. And few more incident I have seen. For example, few years back, that also was on Facebook. A girl was actually accusing like a man that he was harassing on traffic signal, I guess. Maybe you also heard of that story. So after few years it came out that that was false accusation. But by that time, like, that man actually lost his job, reputation, and everybody was like shaming him. So our like tendency is, like, when we hear any kind of news of that sort, we share it out of sympathy. But when we like know that, okay, this was false, we don't share back to like get back his reputation. So I hardly saw one or two people shared, but initially lakhs of people shared that news. So it literally ruined his career. So this was some points, so made me realize that, okay, I should, because I'm a passionate writer actually. So I'm a young scientist by profession, but like writer by passion. So I thought, okay, let's start my first book, my debut book, with this kind of topic which needs awareness. So that's why actually I started writing this book, and now it's out there.
Right. Have you interviewed people, or rather men, who have, undergone this kind of trauma? And could you share one or two examples or real life situations that, they spoke to you about?
Yeah, actually, I interviewed a lot of people. Not, I can't say it's interview. It's like question answering. Whenever I go public, actually, I did research. I mean, lot of aspects, and then I asked them questioning without telling that I'm going to write something about this. So I asked several people about like mentality of people. So I asked this question, like, will you marry a rape survivor, first of all. Then I got several answers from both genders. So then again I asked the question, like, what if it was a man, will you marry her? So I have asked in like various public places, whenever I was doing some like journey travel, I was traveling in train, flight, or anyhow, even if in gathering also. So as you have seen that, like in this book also, like when this teacher will ask, will you marry a rape survivor, everybody will think that this question is only for boys exclusively. So like this, actually I saw this because whenever I like, even I mean, from various background, like in terms of education or financial backgrounds, I asked so many people. So even including all genders, men, women. So most of the time, say around 95 or more than 95, maybe 99%, I didn't count, but it was like that. They even was surprised, like, okay, man can be raped. I mean, what are you saying? So this was the reaction. So I have talked so many people, but yeah, I personally did not interview because people are afraid of telling this, because very rarely this topic is coming out. I know it happens, and I saw some kind of news and all, I could not reach them. But in our society, even if they are facing, they are unable to speak out. So my like motive is they can speak out. So that's why I wanted to create the awareness. Like, somebody is suffering in silence, so that should not be the case. So they should come out the trauma. So that's why I wrote this book. So this is
Sure.
how I made my research.
Sure. There's one, particular argument which women or women rights activists would always make, that men cannot be raped. There's a very clear definition of rape, especially in India. And
Yes.
with that definition, it clearly suggests that a man cannot be raped by a woman. I mean, we can give it other names like sexual exploitation, or other terms like these. But generally, they say a man cannot be raped by a woman. So, what is your take on this?
Yes. So in fact, in this book Silence and Secrets, there is a chapter, like there is a discussion in, I mean, among those group of students, that how a man can be raped by a woman. So they are making fun, they are making, I mean, lot of theories and everything, it is there on the book. So in fact, it is the perception of most of us that men cannot be raped. But what I feel, that the term rape can be like with any gender. It's not like sexual penetration. I mean, for me, like rape is molestation, sexual molestation also. Like you are forcing someone what he or she, I mean, is not like comfortable with. You are forcing someone. So it can be, I mean, with anyone. In fact, for men, most of the cases I have heard from the news, I did some search and research that, like, most of the cases, the men are actually younger, like younger than the woman, because most of the cases people think that okay, men are physically stronger than women, so they cannot be raped. So that is on perception, that's why people feel that okay, it's actually invalid idea. But I have seen most of the cases young boys are being tortured physically, they are raped literally. In fact, few couple of days back when I published this book, one of my friends sent me a news article. So there were four I think girls in, I guess it was in Haryana. So
Punjab.
Haryana was,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was in
So
Punjab.
yeah, Punjab, I guess. Yes, yes, yes. So like they, I mean, they have like taken, abducted some man and then raped brutally and then thrown him. So nobody actually, this news are not even coming in the mainstream news media also. So these kind of things are happening out there. And like as I said, like, I mean, this like unsolicited touch, that like unwanted touch, that's actually really weird. Like, I mean, we can understand only when we don't want that touch, then we can understand how it feels. For example, another incident I have actually, I was traveling in a metro. So there, I think he was a gay. So I mean, same thing, it happened with me. I mean, it was, I mean, it's there, it's very small, it's not like a very trauma kind of thing, it's not rape, but I felt like, I felt weird, like, yeah, I mean, why he is touching me? Like I know like how it feels. I mean, it's unfortunate, like many women in our country is undergoing that, but many men are also undergoing, but they are even unable to speak. So that's what the perception, I mean, I think we all need to change this perception. So that's why I wrote this book, to create awareness so that people can talk among themselves, and it becomes easier to talk about this taboo topic. So that's what, like, I think.
Would you like to share with our viewers, if they go through the book, what is it that they can look forward to? In what are the contents that you have covered in this book?
Okay, so this book actually I have written in like suspense crime manner, because I love suspense stories. So when you deliver some message, people read it or listen to it and then they forget. But when you deliver some message in terms of stories, that story actually sometimes carved in our mind, so it stays longer. That's like how I feel. And especially when there is some suspense element, people will love it. Okay, so this book is actually, as I have already like talked, that starts with this question: will you marry a rape survivor? And then the next question by on guy: what about girls, will they marry a male rape survivor? This question actually leads to the unwanted like mocking and like fun in the class that was made by Ranjan. But the next morning he was found naked and raped. So there is a suspense, like who did this? Is it Akash? Like he wrote this and he was mocked brutally in the class, he did this? Or there was a feminist in the class, because he openly invited girls, like rape me girls. He also thought that like raping, I mean, raping a man by woman is enjoyable, he thought he'll enjoy. So like it could be Smita, the feminist, or some other people. I mean, So there is a suspense element, and in that suspense there is a, I mean, not on a particular message, there are a lot of messages. For example, number one, there should be like committee or laws for male victims. That is number one. Number two, we should consider all cases gender neutrally. So most of the cases, like, we do sympathize, and then we forget, like, okay, who is the real culprit. So that's what I wanted to show. And another one, there is also hypocrisy, how we show ourselves on social media and how we behave in real life, that's there. And also, like, another thing, that transgender, I have touched that topic also. Like, people are even like, sometimes don't consider them or their opinion, or they also sometimes undergoes lot of trauma, rapes and all. So all these topics actually I have conveyed. So hope I like my readers will enjoy the story as well as take something home out of this book.
Absolutely. And I would also like to share with our viewers that currently in India, obviously the women have all the laws in their favor. I mean, you have multiple laws for rape in favor of women. But for men, especially, if a man is molested or sexually exploited by another man, in only this situation he has recourse under section 377 of the IPC. But if a man says that he has been raped or sexually exploited by a woman, currently there is no recourse as such for this man. So I think what this book will do is it would perhaps open a debate. It would start a debate and maybe prompt a lot of men who have faced this kind of bad touch or trauma to come out and narrate their stories and share their experiences. So I'm going to leave the link for this book in the description of this video. We can just show the book for the last time. And the title of the book is Silence Has Secrets. It's available on Amazon. So please do pick up a copy and read it, share it with your friends, and pass the word ahead. On that note, I thank Dr. Nayan Malek for joining us, and also thanking you for initiating this kind of, a topic through your form of art, that is writing a book.
Yeah, and lastly, I should thank you, Ernest, for like leading on like forum like Voice for Men in India. I mean, this kind of forum is very less. I know, like, there are a lot of NGOs for women, but for men, it's, I think, on or two. So, I mean, I should thank you. I mean, being a woman, you are like thinking everything gender neutrally. That's what we should do as a human being. Like, we should not judge anyone. We have our mothers, sisters, brothers, son. I like, we should be treated as human beings, not like man, woman. So, thank you very much for, I mean, taking such step. I really appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. And once again, I wish everybody a wonderful 2023.
Yeah, happy New Year to all.
Thank you.